Hello adventurers, I'm Gray and welcome to another Hytale blog update. Now this time they're doing a little update about the Hytale Model Maker, which is basically a modeling, texturing, and animation program that lets you import all sorts of models that you create yourself into Hytale, giving you a lot of flexibility in what you can create and things you can do. And this blog update is somewhat brief, but I want to go into it because surprisingly I am pretty excited about this model maker. And the reason why I'm excited about it is because for my Minecraft thumbnails, I actually use a program called Minimator, which is like a Minecraft animator, where I throw in the characters, I throw in a scene that maybe I got from MC Edit or something like that. I can change the background to be a green screen and then crop certain things out and then export a photo, and I can make a really nice looking Minecraft thumbnail. So I'm hoping that I can do something similar here to make really great Hytale thumbnails whenever the game comes out. Anyway, let's move on with this little blog update, and you can see one model that was created here. It seems like an antlion or some sort of insectoid monster that they made. Anyway, the story of Hytale Model Maker. So, Hytale Model Maker is actually created on a base of another program called Craft Studio, which I'm not quite sure what Craft Studio is. Okay, so after doing some further research, Craft Studio is sort of a real-time collaborative 3D game-making toolkit. Basically, it's a way to make models and different things to put them into a game, and Hytale Model Maker seems to be based off of that, except tailored more for Hytale, of course. It seems to be initially worked on by two people named Elise Maurer and Nicolas Bilou-Gauthier, and they're trying to make simple tools that players can make their own games in, or make their own models in. At least that was the idea behind Craft Studio, to make all sorts of models and different things to enhance the game, to make your own things for your games, that type of stuff. And after working together on that, the two of them wanted to look for some sort of a new project that was more modular, that you could do more things with, and eventually they heard about Hypixel and the new game that they were making, and so they decided to start helping them because they saw that Hypixel was working with Craft Studios model editor and stuff like that, but they were being held back by its limitations, so they decided to join them and work on this. Anyway, that's sort of the history behind it. The point of the Model Maker is that you can create new game assets without having to learn high-end 3D software. Like if you've used any sort of other modeling or animation software like Blender or Autodesk Maya, you kind of know the deal. They can be kind of hard to figure out and really complex and have tons of buttons everywhere and just be really difficult. At the same time, there's a lot of depth and you can do a lot with them if you know them really well. The point of Hytale Model Maker isn't to make a super complex, really complicated model maker that can do tons of features. It's to make something that can do a lot, but is really simple and easy to navigate, and anyone can use it. And that seems to be what they're trying to do here, by making all their game assets available right away, making tools that are strong to use or very powerful, but are really easy to use at the same time. So you can make your own assets from scratch or use Hytale's assets. And basically, you can make anything and put it into the game. This will be really big for modders. I'm excited to see what people make with this type of stuff. Heck, I might make something. We'll see. So Hytale Model Maker uses cuboids and flat planes, which basically, a cuboid is a six-sided 3D object that uses cube-shaped surfaces, like not squares, or they're like rectangular-shaped surfaces. Basically, everything is still a right angle. However, it doesn't have to be a perfect square. It can be rectangles, it can be like really tall, really wide. As long as all the sides are right angles, then it should still count as a cuboid. And flat planes are basically just flat surfaces. So it doesn't have to be an actual cube, it can just be like a flat line. Like you'll see on the hilt of the sword here, there's sort of like a flat line going across the top here with some shading going on underneath and stuff like that. That gives you a little bit more depth and lets you do more than you can do in something like Minecraft's graphics. So I'm going to click here and kind of show you the sword modeling time-lapse, because to show how easy it is to make a model, this sword that will appear at the end, which I might skip forward a little bit, is made in just under 30 minutes of work. And they basically, you can import the shading that you do in another program like Photoshop if you want, but you can also color it in within this program too if you want to. So it gives you a lot of flexibility to do what you want to do and make what you want to make. So if I continue down here, you can see the animation section, which is another part of this program, Hytale Model Maker. And basically, like if you make a sword or a weapon or an item, you can just throw it in because they're not really animated. You swing a sword, it stays the same shape the whole time, just like real swords. But if you're going to make a living creature, it needs to have some animation, something to show movement. And an example of this is this zombie right here, which is being made by Charlie, or Ninja Charlie T. And he's animating some simple walking in about a minute here, which is only 20 minutes of work in total, which I think is pretty crazy for like a whole walking / running animation in 20 minutes. That's really brief. Of course, I'm sure he knows the ins and outs of the program and is really good with it and has been working on it for many years now. So for a normal person, it would probably take them a lot longer to figure out how the program works and that type of stuff, but it's still impressive that you can do this type of thing. And just looking at the layout here, like I'll give a brief little look, there's a lot of buttons that are all over the place. Like you can tell that there's a lot of things going on, lots of keyframes and all that stuff. But it doesn't look nearly as complex as something like Autodesk Maya or even Blender, which is free. It looks like it's a lot easier to use. So hopefully that is the case, and I might mess around with it. I'll see. So finally we have Modular Characters down here, which basically they talked about this in an earlier blog post, but every character, including something like the Trorks, have many different designs. They have different clothes they wear, different weapons they use, different faces that could be on them, and all of these follow the same palette. Like they start out with the same base, and then are customized through different modular characteristics. So this kind of shows it, how in the Model Maker, you could create many different hairstyles or clothing, and swap between them and preview how they look with the animation you gave them. And it makes it really easy to make sure everything is working correctly, so that you can have lots of variety in how the monsters or creatures look like. And it seems to be tailored for a variety of options. So I'll skip forward a little bit. Yeah, that's basically the point of this here. And the last feature that they talk about here is collaboration, which seems really interesting because this has been added to a lot of different programs, like Microsoft Office products allow you to collaborate and all sorts of stuff. I don't usually use collaboration that much though in the programs that I use, but it seems interesting here because with the type of program that this is, like a program that allows you to shade in and color models and make your own models from scratch, or put in different assets and customize them and then give them an animation and give them different modular characteristics and stuff like that. You could have one person coloring, and you can see in here, you can have one person coloring in the model while the other person works on the animations, and the coloring you're doing to the model appears on the character that's being animated at the same time. And so you can get more than one thing done at one time, vastly reducing the workload if you're working on something. So if any of my friends are interested, I might get on this with Tristan or Andrew or anyone who's really into computers and animating and stuff like that. I know Andrew did some animation stuff whenever he was in digital media in college. So I could like do some shading or something like that, or do some coloring while Andrew does animation. We could make some stuff for the game, maybe make our own sort of custom game modes. That would be really fun for Hytale. Like, I'm excited about all the creative options in this game. I'm not sure how invested I'll get into them, because I'm going to be playing a lot of the adventure modes and a lot of the things that other people make, for sure, for YouTube and that type of stuff, and also for fun. But I might make some stuff of my own sometime. I'll see how things go. And that's basically it. They talk about how they're trying to make it easy for content creators to share their expertise with newcomers, to give it a low barrier for entry, and to use it as a teaching tool and that type of stuff. And I think this is a good mentality to have. I think the idea of making this type of model maker with so much flexibility will do wonders for the longevity of the game and the creativity shown by its players, its users, its creators, and everyone else who's interested in Hytale. So that's all for this blog update for now. Hopefully you all are interested in following this game as it progresses just as I am, and I hope to see you all on the next adventure.